Well, I am excited to be with you today once again on Lord and Richard's Radio. This is a wonderful episode that we're going to do today as part of our series on being wealthy, healthy, and happy for life. If you missed our last segment where we focused on what it was to be wealthy throughout your lifetime, be sure to pick that up on our podcast or on YouTube under Lord and Richard's. But last time we talked a little bit about tips for each generation, starting in your 20s. Using the power of compounding for you, not against you, and starting a plan of giving, saving, spending less than you live on, maybe about half of what you make on what you live, and then a little bit extra for those extra things like offerings and luxuries. And then in our 30s and 40s, it's really about not falling into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses, right? Don't try to let your lifestyle constantly creep up. Of course, there's inflation, but a lot of people find that if they get a promotion or something happens where they've got positive cash flow, their lifestyle just backfills all that rather than increasing your savings and your future financial independence. And then finally, in our 50s and 60s, here's the thing to remember. Failing to plan is planning to fail. We want to get ahead of the game, get a plan in place so that when we're ready to step away from our job, now we've got huge opportunity through financial independence to do the things that we love with the people that we love. Today, we're going to shift into the next category. So wealthy, healthy, and happy. That means we're going to talk about what it means to be healthy today. And we might even get in a segment on happiness. So many of you are familiar with some of our past episodes where we talked about tools, resources, strategies, not just to gain financial independence, but to use the money that you have and that you're saving, not just for the future, but to really put it to work today for your health. You see, part of financial independence is having the money to do what you love with the people that you love and the places you want to do it without having to work. And if you're not healthy, how much can you really enjoy those things? When I talk to my audiences throughout the area, I'm often told, Colin, health is one of our top concerns, not just our wealth, but our health. And you know what? I've got a few principles for you to apply today that I've learned over the last 50 plus years, just some wisdom gleaned over these many decades on how to become more healthy as we age. And it's been exciting for me personally to see these principles go to work. Last time I had a comprehensive workout with my doctor, it came out with flying colors, except I was deficient in vitamin D. Looks like that's a problem when you live at altitude or here in Colorado, you don't get quite as much sunshine as I did when I grew up in my teenage years in Florida. So take a vitamin D supplement, but literally our blood work, all our metrics were right on the number. Now, I got to tell you, I'm in the middle of a program to try to reduce weight right now. Ever since COVID, I've got to get the rest of that little extra that we put on off so that I can even more fully enjoy my lifestyle. And so that leads into our first principle. Number one, you are what you eat. Do you know that research has been done to show that what you put into your body actually stays with you, and it is what makes your body composition? I don't know if you've ever really thought about this, but it's not just that you could put any old thing into your body and it'll all be converted into nice, happy, healthy cells. What you put into your body affects the kind of cells that you create in your brain, in your muscles, in your fat, which is important, just not to have too much of it, and so on. So you're building your body and rebuilding it. You're cycling through that every few weeks. You're replacing your cells. What are you eating? What are you replacing those cells with? Really kind of a creepy study, but they went all the way back 100 years and had samples of people's tissue, and they sampled the fat and discovered that there were 25% lower incidences of the bad kinds of fats and lipids in those fat cells than what we're seeing today as a result of what we're eating. I wish I could say it was like the good old days when life back on the farm made it possible to cheaply eat whole foods, fruits, vegetables, meats, and so on. But what happens is either through marketing, either through people's attempt to use food as a moral platform, we're being discouraged from eating things that are actually really good for us. For example, back in the 80s and 90s, we heard all kinds of things about what was healthy. We were told Cheerios were healthy, right? Heart healthy. And yet we're consuming ultra-processed foods full of sugars, full of additives, and we're being told it's healthy because it comes from some form of grain. Well, it's been broken down into an almost unrecognizable form. You know, the quick test is, can you look at what you're eating and tell exactly what it is? Right? Or has it been processed and packaged into something that doesn't even resemble what it came from? So avoid, first of all, ultra-processed foods. These are things that really are at the bottom of our nation's health crisis. Additionally, avoid those who want to turn food into a moral platform. So many people, because again of the intensity of the marketing efforts of these processing companies, are trying to turn you against certain types of whole foods, such as good quality, high quality meat. But you know, getting your required protein from things that are processed isn't near as valuable as getting it from great sources like chicken, beef, and so forth. Trying to replace meat in your diet with vegetables can also lead to diseases, muscle wasting, lack of what you need, high quality, bioavailable protein. And so the recommendation is, if you don't want to see your personal health decline as you get older, you got to put a focus on what you eat, contributing to maintaining, if not growing, your muscle. And in order to do that, you're going to need about 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight pound. So that's a lot more than most of us are being told. We're being told really small amounts, and we're suffering for it. Just yesterday, I was talking to a client who said their mom had passed away, doing great otherwise, in their 70s, could have had years ahead, but took a fall. Of course, this is often related to lack of muscle mass and imbalance and weakness in our legs and in our frame. And so much of this can be avoided if we'll shut out all of this negativity around high quality bioavailable protein that you can get in great sources like chicken and beef. Of course, you can get those in eggs, you can get those in fish, but you're going to have to eat a lot more of those things. Muscle sarcopenia, or wasting, is one of the highest predictors of all-cause mortality in my client group, the people that I'm seeing every single day. So let's focus on getting healthy this year. Let's focus on having a great, well-rounded diet of whole foods. But you know, they're a little bit expensive, right? So that's where financial independence comes in. If you do what I've talked about in previous episodes and set yourself up, you'll have great cash flow, you'll have great savings to be able to afford really high quality food, to be able to afford to do the things for your body that will help you become healthier and stronger and happier as you age. Well, folks, we're not just about health. We're not just about food. We're not just about these kinds of things. We're about your total experience at Lord and Richards. We want you to become financially independent so you can support the great lifestyle that you deserve. And it simply starts with a conversation with me and my team.